If you're a student and you're looking to start a business, you're looking to get a really good part-time job, the best one you can get out there is private tutoring. This video is sort of a continuation of my last video where I talked about the best part-time job you can get as a student, which is tutoring. So if you guys haven't checked that out, I'm gonna put a link up over here and you guys can check that out as a part 1 to this series. So this is my 3rd video, and if you guys like the content you're seeing so far, make sure to hit the subscribe button and let's get started with this video. So my goal in this video is to give you guys enough information to know what to put out on an ad. And that's important because the key to getting a good private tutoring business is to put out the right ad and find the right clients. So let's start with where you're going to post the ad. I've gotten the most success in websites like Kijiji. That's a classified ad site here in Canada. Craigslist should be something similar in the US, and if there's something relevant to your country, websites like that would be the most relevant where you can put out ads. Because a lot of people who are looking for tutors will be looking at those places. Aside from that, community bulletins, local 7-Elevens, community newsletters, those are also good places, especially if they're free. If you have to pay for them, that won't be the first place that I would look for. At the same time, you're going to want to talk to friends and family. However, you might want to have an ad ready anyway because the content in your ad would be very similar to how you're going to pitch it. You're going to have a better chance of finding the perfect clients that work best for you. And meanwhile, while you're in a classified ad site, make sure to also check out wanted ads because they might be looking for tutors there. And if any of their wanted ads fit what you want, then you can just respond and find some clients that way. So the first thing you want to put in your ad is what subjects you tutor. So that begs the question, what subject should I tutor? Well, the most in-demand subject is math. If you can mention that you can tutor math on your ad or in your pitch, then that would give you a big leg up. But in my opinion, if you do okay in school, you'd be able to tutor any subject really up to grade 9. Second place in the title of the most in-demand subject would be here in Canada, French, but in your country it would be whatever the second language is. And if the second language in your country is English, then I would imagine that would be even more in demand than French here in Canada. That gives us math, and then the language course. A slightly distant third place would be the sciences. You can mention those subjects on your ads and on your pitches, and that will help you get the right clients. The next thing you want to mention is your location. This is especially relevant if you're posting online because you might find clients where you're not willing to travel. So you can mention your general community, the general community where your school is, or just libraries where you're willing to tutor. That way you're not going to get responses from everywhere around the city. And I would say email would probably be the best point of first contact because you might not always be available on your cell phone. You might want to have a more professional email for this and respond professionally, of course, especially if they're strangers. Because you're just starting out, you want to go cheap. When you go to Kijiji and look for other people and their prices, make sure to match it, or in my opinion, go even lower. Because it's going to be your first few gigs, you don't want to charge a lot of money. That's going to be your main advantage out of anyone else that are posting and promoting themselves online. So I'm going to show you guys an example of a really bad ad and a really good ad. The key really is casting a very specific net. It's not always a good strategy to present yourself as someone who can tutor anyone. People are going to be looking for specialists, people who are really good at math in junior high, or people who are really good at diploma exams in grade 11. People are going to be looking for whatever is most specific for their child. And so you really want to cast a very specific net so that they come to you and not anyone else. And if they do find other people who are also qualified to do what you're doing, since you're going to have a low price on your ad, they're going to go for yours first. So eventually, you're going to get a bunch of responses, you're going to start tutoring, and you're going to notice something. A lot of the kids you tutor are not going to end up as regulars, and that's okay. And if you're especially bothered by how irregular they are, you don't necessarily have to accept more sessions. Your goal to make this easier for you, to make this more fun for you, and to make this a more rewarding experience is to find the perfect kids that fit your schedule really well, fit your location very well, and fit your price range very well. Going to the question of how much do you charge. Personally, I started charging $20 an hour, but what I would say is looking for ads that are put out by tutors of similar level as you and just beat those prices for now. However, you don't have to charge all your clients the same rate, especially because they're not even going to be talking to each other. If you have to travel farther for this client, if you have to really mix up your schedule in order to fit their needs, or if you just don't like them, then you're in the right to charge them more money. So yeah, your kids, you don't have to charge them all the same rate. And eventually, the goal is to get a lot of experience and find the kind of kids that you're looking for, the kind of kids that you really jive with and you're having fun tutoring. Only keep those kids if you want. And at that stage, tutoring won't really feel like a job at all. It would just be something you do on the side, developing your skills, making you money, and you're having a fun time doing it. This is especially relevant because you're a student too, and you're gonna have some really tough semesters. At those times, I would say you only have to tutor the kids you really want to tutor, or the kids that are just paying you the most, because you also have the priority of doing school and schoolwork. But yeah, in general, if you don't have enough clients, charge less. If you have too many clients, charge more. Unlike shift jobs, for example, if you're working at McDonald's, you get to work from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's not always the case if you're tutoring. One kid might want to show up at 5, another kid at 8, and now we have like a big gap from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. where you're not getting paid. And in my opinion, that's okay, because you're a student, you can just take your schoolwork with you, do some work, or you can just go out and eat, or you can just do whatever you want in those 2 hours. As long as you're staying in the same location, it's not really a problem. The problem is if the kids are looking to tutor on different days. So maybe some kids can only do Mondays, some kids can only do Tuesdays, and you really don't want to work both Mondays and Tuesdays. In that case, really try to minimize the number of days of the week when you're tutoring, carefully selecting which clients you want to tutor. If you have a dedicated day, let's say all your kids show up on Mondays and Thursdays, then that's going to be cleaner than if you have one kid every day of the week. You're just going to find it easier. And my final tip is to find another job. I'm not saying quit tutoring and just work for something else, but have 2 jobs. I keep mentioning McDonald's, so I might as well just go with it. In my opinion, if you're doing tutoring and you really want to get the most of it, you want to do tutoring and McDonald's at the same time. Shift jobs have certain advantages to them, mostly in the form of really stable income. Shift jobs don't look as well in a resume as tutoring jobs do. They don't pay as well. However, it's very easy to rack on hours in a shift job. It's very easy to cancel your work by calling in sick or getting a friend to take over. And, well, it depends on the job, but you often have a bit more control over your schedule as opposed to working with clients who might have very varied schedules. And tutoring, on the other hand, it pays well, it looks good in a resume, it gives you a lot of skills that you won't otherwise get if you just work at a McDonald's. However, the scheduling can be really tough. My tip would be to just tutor the kids you really want to tutor and tutor them on certain specific dates. So you can tutor maybe 2 to 5 hours a week and at the same time pick up 5 to 10 hours at a shift job. So I would only really recommend this once you find a really good base of clients that are really going to stick with you and you have a little bit more experience tutoring, because I would say that to start out, you might want to just focus on tutoring, gaining experience and finding the kids you really like. And once that's done, once you reduce your hours tutoring, you really find the kids that you want to tutor and the clients you really want to deal with, then you can add on another job. That is if you're looking for more hours. If that's not the case, then you can just do tutoring. And I would say having both eventually would be a very good compromise. And that's what I've been doing. So yeah, that's my tips for you guys. I hope this is helpful and good luck with your tutoring journey. Peace, guys.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching that last video. As you can see, I'm just finishing up the edits. Next week, I'm going to be talking about fitness, and I'm going to take a break from all this tutoring talk for now. Let me know if you have any feedback with this content, though. I know I said this is going to be the everything you need to know kind of guide into tutoring, but of course, I'm not going to be able to cover the ins and outs of it. There's always going to be stuff I'm going to leave out, and I would really appreciate feedback. If you guys want it as an ebook form, maybe, or what have you, just let me know if you guys have any feedback in comments below. If you guys are looking forward to seeing some more fitness stuff, make sure to hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for being some of my first subscribers, some of my first viewers, and I'm really hoping I could deliver the content you guys are looking for. Bye.